What the fuck is going on? Today is November 12th. We're going to be going over penny stocks, pre-markets, and open markets. Today we're going to start with BTCS. The main theme of today was Bitcoin. Bitcoin pushing close to 100K. We have a bunch of Bitcoin names on here. BTCS is a sympathy play off of BTCT, which we'll get to right after this one. One thing to note, in the past few years, sympathy plays have been relatively weak, so I won't be the first to be jumping on the bandwagon or the bitch wagon, but these types of moves can happen, and sometimes they are pretty nice. BTCS pretty much just kind of went straight up, picked up volume around here. Probably when, let's see, BTCT ran 10:44-ish time. So like right here is where BTCS started to run, which made sense. So she went straight up into around $4, 450, came all the way back down, settled over the yearly highs, and then just died out. So another thing we're seeing with big spikes and then just fade outs. That's a very key. You maybe get one good move over here while we're going straight up, and then it kind of dies out. So don't be forcing the backside of these plays, but this was a nice percent move overall. So let's get into BTCT. This is the bitch that set off the markets. Again, coming into today, stocks over, I'd say $3 have been dog shit. Anything that's been pushing towards open, like this is, I stayed clear to this, although I probably should have paid more attention to it with Bitcoin running and all that, but still, let the stock world show me first, and then I'll kind of jump on the bandwagon there. But this thing off the rip didn't really do much. She came kind of like a mini U pattern here, and then faded back down. At this point, I'm not looking at this at all. It started approaching VWAP, and it's like, okay, if it breaks, so once it broke here, I paid a little bit more attention to it, and then the second, if it pushed back up to 460, 470, came back down to like 440, and then pushed back up, I could have seen that. It went fucking vertical 450 into 550 essentially, and halted. From here, again, when we see something like this where we haven't seen it in a while, something that is over $3, something that is, not pushing, and then all of a sudden spike into a halt, you're going to be catching a lot of people off guard. More reason for this to continue running. So my thought process was waiting for a dip potentially back to either the halt level, which we've seen before, or back to the yearly high. So yearly highs was at 607, around 6. So my initial thought was pull back to here and maybe take some if it settles. So this thing went, let's see, did it halt again? It halted again here. It was like an instant halt through. So no trades there. Comes here, halts again. And from here we get kind of like this formation. After here, okay, we settled here on around 7. So we have buyers here. Let's see if it can push. It doesn't push here. I tried some here originally and got a quick pop to like 8, which was nice. Once it kind of failed, we had this downtrend originally, how do I fix this? Had this downtrend originally like this. So once it broke, kind of left some runners just in case, but it came back down and rejected, so we got rid of it. Came all the way back there. This should have failed right here. It should have failed all the way back down to like here, probably halted down, and then been done for the day. But because this is a unique situation, it's kind of tied to Bitcoin. More eyes are on this play. And then also the penny world, stocks under $1 were kind of dog shit today as well. So there was basically nothing else running during this time except for this. So all eyes were essentially on this. So it's a good time to try and take some risk on stuff like this. So once it held here, pushes back through, comes back down, this part right here, this is where I added once we suck this shit back up to 7 again. Shows me that this has, worst case, this can get back to like, this area right here. You know, that's kind of worst case where I saw, where we're holding this area. We've already rejected the down or the breakdown here. So we're holding it. We come here, we push back up to double top. We've seen a lot of double tops as well, and then fade back down. So I did sell a chunk here, but we just kept fucking ripping ass. Look at this shit. All the way from 7 to 17. A fucking squeeze and a half. We didn't get to this gap level. I thought we'd get to 19, but didn't get there. Straight up, and then the other thing to note too is, again, straight up and then just, you know, kind of garbage time. You can still trade in this zone, but chances are you're going to get probably scratched up in here, and it's not going to bode well for anyone. But this front slide, this flag right here was money, if you had that, but anything after that was kind of garbage, unfortunately. I think what will happen at some point towards the end of the year is we'll get moves like this and then continuation, then continue running. So we just haven't seen a whole lot of that this year. But overall, BTCT definitely was the main focal point of the day. All right, moving past that, spent a lot of time on that. So CERO ran yesterday. This one is a multi-day runner. I said before, day 2 moves have been also the most dog shit things in the world. I stayed clear of this, even though this looks so good. One of these times it will work, and today is not fucking one of them. You know, we have yesterday, it pushed, it double topped with its pre-market high. This is that key level at what price? At 24 cents. So with that being said, though, it does dip down to 24 and push back up. You could say that, you know, this is a good buying area, you know, for a pushback. It's not as super bullish as I thought it would be, but you do have this area to buy, and then you also have this kind of inverse head and shoulder here, head here, shoulder here. This would have been good ads right here off the 2.25 cent line, but then it just kind of like stalled out and died out. So, and then once it gets back under VWAP, kind of, I call it VWAP drowning. It just never recovers. So stay away from that as well. Moving on, EVGO. I don't know what the fuck this is. Just went straight down. I'm not really gonna look into that. FOXO. This was another big one that I thought could actually break out. We talked about it yesterday as well. It's been doing this for the past 2 days, where it actually has pops. It has a lot of volume. This is the same chart from like 2 days ago. It's just kind of repeated. Here's the level to beat, 105. We come up in pre-market 105. With the open, it opens, the spread on this was fucking, it opened down like here at 91 from here, and then went straight up, and then it had a nice flag here over the 105 level. This was like, you could add it here, you could have added here. Even though this kind of went down a little bit too far, it sucked back up. You could have added on this candle, and then here was probably the best one because we had this little downtrend double bottom flag. Very much reminds me of BTCT flag over a key level, and then push, and then it fills this gap, breaks 130, and then dies out. And then it halts again for some fucking random reason. I've never seen a stock this consistent with halt downs. It's like middle of the day, guaranteed halt down. Not sure where the fuck that's coming from, but very interesting to say the least. But again, we have this VWAP drowning again. You know, you have this push over VWAP, it comes back down, it tries to get over it, and then fails. So just be careful of this grindy under VWAP price action. Kind of midday, later in the day. GMPX also, I think, maybe was a simp. I don't really know. I'm not going to spend time on it. This is a nice flag here. Yeah. GNS. Genius. We have this random spike in pre-market, fade. You have this kind of bull flag right here. The volume's ass on this. This is another example of something that goes pretty much straight up. Does a 1.9 EMA wave, halts here, and then just dies out. You know, if you're in early, these are awesome. But if you're breakout trader or kind of chasing these up here, you just gotta be careful you don't get fucking bagged. But you know, money to be made, money to be lost for sure on these fucking things. Moving on to Govex. I'm gonna run out of time here. Govex fading. This is also recycled name multi-day runner. Didn't do anything. Grab. No volume. Don't give a shit. LGMK. Nice pre-market, although it is pushing. This one's also a recycled name. If we look back to holy shit. So here on October 7th, it ran then. This is kind of the top of that pre-market level. Go all the way over here. So we kind of have this like cup and handle type look. You know, we have here nice 1 minute flag at open to break the key levels and then suck back. If this adding after it came back here would have been big brain move. Push all the way up, came down, hit the 190 EMA, went back up to 28. And then from there we died out. We see this a lot too on pennies, that when they go straight up at open, they go up for like 10 to 15 minutes and then that's it. And this is exactly what that did. You know, you could argue it came all the way back down to open, down to the key level, the pivotal level. So this could have been a backside ad. And then we also kind of formed this trend line, which I thought could maybe break again, but we did get a nice little bounce here, and then it just kind of fade down. Our VWAP drowning there, and then just death. LIFW. This one was nice, although it was a little bit further down than I would like it to be. We did break this kind of downtrend. Nice little U pattern here off the gates, and then through VWAP, it's like from here it went straight up from 15. So if you didn't get in down here, I really don't see a whole lot of ads, which kind of fucking sucks, honestly, because, you know, like to have like a pattern formation set up, but again, straight up and then breaks VWAP, attempts to kind of break VWAP and hold it all the way back down. And then we have VWAP drowning here, VWAP drowning here, VWAP drowning here, and death. So again, it's just not worth it. I would rather see something kind of break up to this level and then hold VWAP and then go. But nice ads though there. You know, things that are opening and kind of pushing back. Good attempts there, but if you're not in by this time, it's kind of, you're pretty much game over unless you're kind of adding through like the VWAP break or something like that. MMV, this thing low volume, barcoded, didn't do anything. Mullen. This thing had surprising volume. Extended flag here that actually worked right there. And then it just kind of grinded up. Right now it's breaking out in pre-market. Interesting, we don't see a whole lot of this. That's all I have to say. Well, not lately. Where we push up, long, like hour-long consolidation, push up, hour-long consolidation. So I don't really have a whole lot to say on this one. I'm not really gonna, you know, look too far into this, but it had nice moves regardless. CERO, this one up down, no pre-market, don't give a shit. And then XBP, this one recycled name, also weird ass price action, and just kind of faded off. See, once it gets too far down like this, it's pretty much over. For the morning U pattern to work, it's got to be within like the first 5-10 minutes at the latest. So that's why this one didn't work. But anyways, let's have momentum fucking continue into tomorrow. Peace.